Hello my fellow mid-pack maniacs, I am Dale Rodman Jr. III and this is Slow to Pro, the video series where we go from slow to maybe finding our groove again. Got a 70-minute league race today with the fine folks of Zealous Racing League. This is their 13th season and this is the 5th round. Kyalami, ZRL's crown jewel race, which makes it worth twice the points. Got 33 cars on track, all are GT3s, but we are split into 3 classes. If you look toward the bottom left, red number badges for rookie, black/gray is for our silver class, and the white badges represent our top tier gold class drivers. All that out of the way, we're starting in P32 and it's time for the green flag. The goal for today's race is top 10 in class, which means we're going to need to be around P20 overall, considering there are about 10 drivers in the class above me. As we head up to technically turn 2, I've got my eyes as far in front of me as they could possibly go, trying to see if there's any mayhem that is ensuing. There is none. We go through turn 2 nice and clean, 3 wide, got the Macho Man. Oh yeah, on our right there, Mr. Bulgarian. Best livery I've ever seen. We're gonna hug the inside of this next turn. Again, eyes forward, looking for mayhem, because you can bet your ass some is coming here. We got somebody gonna go off on the left and I'm gonna see it happen. I'm gonna let off on the throttle, let Bulgarian by, swinging behind him. We wanna get away from those knuckleheads, as far away from them as can be. Eyes back to the front now, coming up to another typical problem point on lap 1, but this time nice and smooth as Mr. Trudell and Mr. Mclaren go through side by side, giving each other the respect they both deserve, and I'm just back here chomping at the bit, trying to figure out who's going to be the winner of these two through this sequence of turns. Who's going to make it out faster? Who should I get behind? And I pick Mr. Trudell as we head up to the hairpin. But Mr. Bulgarian, the Bulgarian, gonna say no. He might not be Bulgarian, I just made that up. But anyway, we make it through the hairpin. Now we're side by side with Bulgarian and that savage Mclaren. Almost bumped doors there as we head down to the flat out fast left-hand turn. And we're gonna finally establish that position because he's out there on the slippery shit. And now Bulgarian gonna do his Macho Man impression off the top fucking rope, right at the side of Trudell, but it's not enough to get my competitor out of the race. He's able to hold on to his position. We tuck back in behind as we go through Cheetah for the first time in this 70-minute race. Up to P26 after the end of the opening lap. We will go ahead and skip the straight here. Let's get to T2. Mr. Trudell struggling with that damaged McLaren. Runs it a little bit wide there as we come up to the next sequence of turns. I'm going to try to set something up here, trying to get up around the outside of him. He's going to have to hug the inside of the turn in. Shoot, bad oop, bad oop. Right on through we go. Puts us up into P25. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to the next bit of action. Here we are, lap number 4 behind Mr. Marr in his blue McLaren. Got double yellow, 2 cars mixed up. We're going to go ahead and split around Mr. Beaudry there, looking all slick. Look like we know what we're doing almost. That puts us up 2 positions into P21. Skip ahead just a little bit here. Headed into turn 2 on the 5th lap. Mr. Marr going to send it just a little bit wide there. Gives us a window up the inside. We go side by side. Looks like he backs out a little bit there. And that puts us up into P20 overall. I'm thinking that's right around P10 in class. So far, goal achieved. Let's see if we can't hold on for another 62 minutes. And let's skip ahead to the next bit worth talking about. Headed into sunset. I'm very far left in the hopes that Mr. Beaudry, who is typically a much faster driver than I, would shoot the gap, but he didn't, so I took the turn normal. Ended up clipping the grass, and here he comes right around the outside. We're going to tuck in behind now. We're down a position, down into P21, probably P11 overall in class, but that's okay. We're just going to follow Mr. Beaudry for now, see if we can't steal a thing or two from following him. And then, yeah, let's skip ahead and find out. Here we are on lap number 10. Mr. Beaudry and I both up a position. I'm in P20 now, thanks to somebody off track at some point somewhere. Anyway, we've caught up to Mr. Lung in his Audi, headed up the hill to the hairpin. Mr. Beaudry's going to get squeezed as far to the left as you possibly can, but he's still going to stuff his car in there. I'm going to stuff my big fat bald head in there with him. We get the inside line to the Audi of Mr. Lung, almost made contact, but we're not quite up alongside as I'd like to be. So I'm going to back off here and just chill and just let these 2 knuckleheads sort it out for a second. And as we go through Crocodile, Mr. Beaudry has a moment on the curb, allows Mr. Lung to get right back up alongside, and I'm hoping Mr. Beaudry clips Cheetah and takes them both out, but he doesn't, so we're still in P20. God damn it. And for now, the battle between Mr. Lung and Mr. Beaudry is settled as Mr. Lung gets the inside line to the final turn and the run down the straight. Let's go ahead and skip ahead just a little bit into the future because these two knuckleheads aren't done. Here we are on the exit of Sunset, lap number 11. Mr. Beaudry going right around the outside of Mr. Long, something he's very familiar with. He did that exact move to me earlier, but they're still side by side headed through the S's here. As Mr. Beaudry's just able to get in front. I almost tapped the rear of the Audi of Mr. Lung. And as we go up the hill, the purple Ferrari of Mr. McGowan is in my mirror. He's entered the chat. We're going to get the inside line though, be able to hold it. And now we're going to tuck back in, and I'm going to have to block because it seems like the Ferrari's got a bit of a run speed-wise. I'm watching my radar, just making sure he can't sneak up the inside of me here. And now I'm going to take a defensive line into this turn. We got the alert of a yellow flag, and I see somebody joining the fray, trying to get up the inside of Mr. Lung. Doesn't work. We're tucked behind now, headed through Cheetah, hoping for mayhem. He goes off a little bit there. It's going to open us up for the outside line, and here we go. It's my turn to take him around the outside. We're going to get right up against this door, try to see if he's picking his nose or something in there in that cockpit. What are you doing, Mr. Long? Side by side, screaming down the straight. This is what you came for. This is what you subscribed for. Thank you for doing so. But anyway, as we head to turn 1, I'm going to kind of, wimp out. Well, turn 2. I'm going to wimp out a little bit here and just let him through. And we almost lose a position to the Ferrari, but we're not gonna. I'm not gonna let it up. I'm not gonna. Not today, Mr. McGowan. You're gonna have to work for it. Okay, I'm a working girl. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to the next bit of action. Here we are headed into Crocodiles. I'm going to go ahead and bone the turn. And here comes Mr. McGowan in his purple Ferrari. We're going to go through Cheetah side by side. I don't give a shit. I ain't scared. And we both make it. Thank you, Mr. McGowan, for being such a fantastic driver. Way to go. But through the final turn, he's going to say, get out of the way, Dale. I'm going to say, okay, fair is fair. You're faster than me. Go on ahead. And then the bright idea strikes me. Why don't we bump draft him? So here I go. We're going to go ahead and scoop right in, right up on his butt and give him a little tushy tap. Just a little tushy tap. Get him going a little faster down the straight. And we're going to brake extra early. Make sure we don't give him a booty blast. And that's how it's done, I think. Let's ignore that. Skip ahead to the next bit of action. Here we are on the very same lap as we scream through the fast left-hander. The purple Ferrari can suddenly lose a bunch of speed, and I think he just ran out of gas. So we're going to regain that position that we ceded earlier. We're going to continue zooming ahead while he coughs his way to the pits. 45 minutes to go. Let's go ahead and skip to the next bit of action. Here we are, lap number 20, 35 minutes remaining. As we head up the hill, I've got Mr. Beaudry behind me again. I'm going to go ahead and give him the position because it's going to save time for me. In the end, it's going to be faster to just let him through, lose half a second on this lap than it is to lose several seconds over multiple laps. Let's go ahead and skip ahead again to the next bit of action. Here we are with about 21 minutes remaining, coming out of the pits after our second mandatory pit stop. And right on our tail is Mr. Nicholson in his Mercedes-Benz, and we're able to just barely keep the car in front of him, and he's able to keep his car pretty much right on my tail for the next several laps. Let's go ahead and skip ahead. Here we are, 18 minutes to go, freaking out under blue flag, headed through Cheetah with Mr. Loverank right on our tail. I'm going to sweep back over to the right in order to let him through. Go a little too far though, take it into the dirt, almost lose control, but I don't. I'm able to let Mr. Loverank through on his merry way. I'm able to keep Mr. Nicholson behind us. Thank goodness. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to the next bit of action. Lap number 32, about 14 minutes to go. Nicholson still right on my tail. Got a gaggle of cars in front of us. That's 4 in total. 2 of them are blue flag. 2 of them are in my class fighting for position. So things are pretty spicy up there. We're gonna go ahead and stuff our big fat bald head into this mixing bowl and see what we can't cook up. Mr. Vincent in the Ferrari backs out appropriately, and we're gonna try to squeeze through on the BMW here and make a little bit of contact, but everybody's whole and no real damage, so no harm, no foul. We'll keep it moving. We'll keep our head down and hope that Nicholson gets held up as we head through the hairpin. Let's go ahead and skip to the next bit of action. We've caught up to Mr. Beaudry. It's the start of lap number 36. There are just over 7 minutes remaining, and we are almost under blue flag to Mr. Rivera as we head through turn 2 here. Mr. Rivera is now right on our tail, so we are now officially under blue flag. But I have no intentions of letting him through just yet because I'm right on the tail and I smell something brewing here with Mr. Beaudry. I get a much better exit. I'm able to pretty much zoom right by on the inside line here. Puts us up into P17 overall, probably P7 in class. Let's go ahead and skip to the next bit of action. 5.5 minutes to go, lap 37. Unfortunately, I did not see Mr. Beaudry coming up the inside of me there. He makes contact with my rear, spins his car. We're able to maintain position. We don't take very much damage at all. And that little incident put a bit of a gap between Mr. Nicholson and I, so if we skip ahead to the end of the race, P17 overall is where we finished. It was good enough for P7 in class. And here are the top 11 from the silver class as of the 5th round. Congratulations to Mr. Turnbull for maintaining his lead. And I'm happy to announce we have entered the top 10. We are currently sitting P8 and I intend to keep it. And here are the standings for 12 through 22 in the silver class. Everyone within spitting distance of one another, so a lot of shaking up still to go, I'd imagine. I will be back next week or so with all of the action from round 6 at Red Bull Ring and possibly the action from round 7 at Misano. We'll see. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to my ramblings. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching Slow to Pro. I am Del Rodman Jr. III. You guys have the kind of day you want to have.